Craig Hemingway, Communications Manager for the City of Moose Jaw, and thanks for joining us on the latest Notorious Jawcast video edition. Lots of interest in parks and recreation facilities and programming based on some recent announcements by the provincial government and the Reopen Saskatchewan plan affecting how we can do our business. And to talk about all of that is new is our Director of Parks and Recreation, Derek Blais. Derek, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Craig.
And thanks for finding the time to do this, because you're one of the, if not the busiest person these days, especially related to these government announcements, because they affect so much of what you're in charge of with our parks and recreation and facilities. First off, just describe us the challenge of trying to keep up with everything as it changes.
Yeah, though there's definitely a lot of moving parts to this, and whenever we're able to possibly reopen one area, it has an effect on other areas. As you know, we've redeployed some staff, and we have kind of people in different areas, and then obviously looking at budgets and things like that. So there's a lot of moving parts, and with the recent announcements have definitely kept us on our toes.
Yeah, there's safety, there's budget, there's staffing, all those things that have to get sorted out before we can think of getting things opening and going. But some good news released earlier this week as we record this on June 24th. Just yesterday, we were able to give a facilities update and announce some opening dates. Let's start first with Yara Centre and some of the programming there. Tell us what we're able to do and when we're able to do it.
Yeah, Yarra Centre, we're looking at a three-phased approach to, to completely reopening the facility. The first phase is going to be our summer day camps. Those were very popular last year, and we received a lot of inquiries about those this year. So we're happy to announce that we will be able to offer the day camps, a bit modified in the number of participants this year, but those beginning on July the 6th. We're also, a lot of our fitness classes will be able to offer outdoors beginning July 6th. Information on how to register for those is available on the city website. And then the second phase is the actual fitness center and the track. I know a lot of people are looking forward to getting back into the gym. That is scheduled for August the 10th. And then the third phase would be the complete reopening of the facility, which would include our turf bookings and our turf drop-in and different things like that. And we're waiting further announcements from the provincial government on phase 4.2 before we make any announcements on that.
As you just said, people can register online. We've got the online recreation button right on our city website. About halfway down the page, you'll find it there. And also, you can link to it from the City of Moose Jaw app, which you can get in your favorite app store. So really easy to start registering for those programs. There's a full slate, of course, of all the safety recommendations that we've got for all of these, and that really go into detail about the programs. We won't go into all of that right now, but we do have those documents available on our COVID-19 page on the website. So just know you can go view those right now as you listen to this. And let's move on to outdoor facilities. Again, good news for sporting groups and others that our ball fields and other athletic fields officially opened on June 23rd. Can you talk about just some of the real basic parameters set there?
Yeah, I know a lot of groups were getting the itch to get back on the fields with the nice weather and the good spring, summer that we've been having. So yeah, outdoor fields are officially back open under, the guidelines and the directive from the chief medical officer for the province. The guidelines, we're relying on a lot of our minor sport organizations and user groups to come up with their own guidelines in regards to disinfecting, different things like that. But the major ones are the ones that have always been in play throughout this. Is the social distancing of 2 meters, adhering to public gathering requirements there issued from the provincial government, and then proper hand hygiene. So ensuring that you're regularly washing your hands or sanitizing your hands, not touching your face, coughing into your elbow, all those different things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know the word safety champion is used a lot in some of the sports organizations that, yeah, let's appreciate the volunteers in those groups, because they have to do a little more volunteer recruiting to make sure that they can get those people in place, because just, it is going to be needed. But I think people recognize if that's the trade-off for having a summer ball season, then people have been more than willing to do that. So that is good news. Again, this also affects things in Crescent Park, weddings and even some grad ceremonies, right?
Yeah, the provincial government announced that they would allow graduation ceremonies and weddings to occur. So with that, we have reopened the amphitheater for bookings for those purposes. Unfortunately, we're limited to only those types of events at this time, and that's again just based on the guidelines from the province. So, but yes, it was nice to be able to offer that again.
And again, just like the Yara Centre, we've got the full outdoor facility guidelines document for you on our COVID-19 page at moosejaw.ca. So just click that link and you can read the full scope of the guidelines that need to be followed when using those facilities. The government actually also announced some parts of 4.2 opening, which include theaters, but also libraries and museums. And of course, those are third-party groups with the City of Moose Jaw, the Public Library, and Moose Jaw Museum and Art Gallery. What can you tell us about some initial discussions with those groups?
Yeah, so we have been in communication with them. As we know, the announcement came out yesterday, so June 23rd, and they are able under the province to open on June 29th. I think it's pretty clear that the facilities aren't going to be ready to turn it around that quick and be open to the public by that date, but they are working hard towards a plan for reopening and opening as soon as possible. I think the discussions with their board of directors and have begun as to when that can happen, but then they're also looking at the safety aspect, recalling staff, all the different parts that come with the reopening. So I think we can expect some further announcements on those reopening dates fairly shortly.
And certainly you can follow groups like Moose Jaw Museum and Art Gallery and the Public Library on Facebook, and they'll be making their own announcements related to their opening. We'll of course share that information on moosejaw.ca and with our subsequent releases as well. Something else we just have released, there was a lot of questions about the summer playground program, and due to a lot of things related to COVID-19, we're not able to do it in the traditional form, but what do we have planned for our play at home summer programming, Derek?
Yeah, we are going to be able to, I guess, offer a like you mentioned, a play-at-home program, but activities. We're going to provide different activities that people can do and that children can do in our park spaces. And just provide a little direction for those. So some guided activities. We would provide some whatever equipment is required, or if it's for a scavenger hunt or what have you. The city, we ask that people register for those. It's free of charge, but the registration is only to ensure that we are able to know how many people will be attending and can provide enough supplies. There will be no staff on site, but there'll be a drop-off pickup area for the supplies, and then also some items posted and with different activity ideas so that kids can remain active throughout and still use the park space. And I guess another exciting thing that we didn't mention was the spray parks. We are able to open our spray parks as of June 25th. So spray parks will be reopening. This is exciting and right during a heat wave, so timing couldn't be any better. So yeah, all exciting stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good news, and we have full details on those programs, the Play at Home Summer program, right now on our website at moosejaw.ca. So we're slowly but surely getting there, Derek, in terms of being able to get back to some sense of normalcy and offer a lot of the programming we love to provide, and we haven't been able to provide recently because of COVID-19. So some good news there. We should update, I guess, a couple of things. Outdoor pool. That decision was made several weeks ago. It won't be opening this year, and that relates to the paddling pools as well, correct?
Yeah, and that was mostly a budgetary decision. So when asked to review our budget and to look at opportunities to come in with a 0% tax increase, the outdoor pool, and at the time the outdoor pool was one of the items that came up. It's I think, as we all know, there is a significant cost to operate the outdoor pool, and with all the unknowns surrounding how long the pandemic would be lasting throughout the summer months, it was an item that was offered up and approved by council to eliminate this year. It's not a permanent thing. We're excited to be able to hopefully open it up again next year. And then, yeah, paddling pools. Paddling pools is more around the provincial guidelines. There's a supervision requirement there to open up paddling pools, which we just don't have the resources for at this time.
And as far as the Kinsman Sportsplex goes, that not even eligible to open yet, as per the provincial government. That's later in phase 4.2. Tell us what kind of process is going to be once we get word that we can open, because there's a lot of work that has to be done just to get it ready once we know we can open, correct?
Yes, yeah, no, the indoor pool is definitely will we'll need some time to get that going again. It does take 2 weeks just to fill the pool up with water, another week to heat it. But there's also the staffing side of it, starting to recall our staff. A lot of the staff will need to be retrained, recertified, based on the new guidelines. And then the public health inspections. There's a requirement for when all aquatic facilities reopen that they be fully re-inspected. So there's a few different things that we're going to have to do. They're going to take a number of weeks to be completed, but we hope that we get some further information on that phase so we can announce a date here in the near future.
Derek Blais, Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Moose Jaw. Anything we've missed talking about?
No, you know what? No, nothing off the top of my head. We look forward to reopening and getting people engaged in the facilities again. I know there's going to be some hesitation out there just with the pandemic still very relevant in our society today and in our area. So we'll continue to find the safest way to move forward. And yeah.
Well, certainly a couple of the big ones we've addressed for the kids and people wanting to have their kids busy this summer. The Yara Day Camps start July 6th, and the Play at Home summer programming at our parks also begins the week of July 6th. So you can find all the details on that and everything else related to our facilities opening right now on the COVID-19 page at moosejaw.ca. Derek, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Craig.